vast is the ENFJ mind, especially when it comes to intensity, range. It's boundless and immense when it comes to the subconscious mind and going very, very deep underneath the surface. ENFJs are naturals at this. They don't understand how to stay on the surface. It just doesn't interest them. They don't pay attention to it always, and that's why sometimes they can miss details. They don't notice the clock on the wall because their mind is far more interested in figuring out things that are not so easily seen. They want to know what the heck is going on. How are ENFJs able to dive so deep into the subconscious mind? The subconscious speaks to you in dreams. It is unable to process negative words. It can take things literally. It is always alert and awake. It has no verbal language. It is like a magician that has the power to control your skills, behaviors, emotions, and beliefs, and that inlines the key. It is controlling a lot, but sometimes people don't understand what's driving them because the subconscious stores every single emotion you feel or go through without knowing if it's good or bad. And this inner world excites ENFJs about themselves and other people and makes them very curious because they know that this underground world has a mind of its own and codes must be cracked if we want to be our best selves and not live in illusion and delusions. They want to know more about this unusual creature lurking beneath the surface. As an ENFJ, I love interpreting people's dreams. In fact, I did a video where I attempt to teach you how I do it. Some people will say things like, oh, this prophecy is happening and this is what it's all about. That seems to be the thing right now. But everybody's dream world is their own. And there's not to say that a dream can't be prophetic, but for the most part, it is trying to tell you something. And a lot of people don't understand their dreams because they're very symbolic. The person speaking in the dream may represent you and not that person at all. It can be very tricky, but it's easy for an ENFJ. It is the best window to help people connect with why they're acting out or nervous or anxious or happy. When you can remember a dream of yours, it can help you heal and find peace. And ENFJs understand this sort of thinking. It's not a waste. It's an important aspect of life. Oftentimes, people don't understand what's driving them to overdrink or dabble in extreme anger. But this is the ENFJ's wheelhouse. Whether it's themselves or another person, they're going to want to figure it out. They can't just let it go. Like, why am I overeating? Why am I acting out? Why do I keep attracting the same man or woman over and over and over again in my romantic relationships? They want to know where that's coming from. This is where the ENFJ plays. Dreams can be a place for the ENFJs to play. Dreams are mental thoughts, feelings, and imagery. And ENFJs love imagery and symbolism and figuring things out. And life is just a basket full of symbolism for the ENFJ to uncode. And they will go to great lengths to do that. As an ENFJ, do you believe in coincidences? Do you see hidden meaning in everything? Do you make connections from things that people say or things that you see and connect it to God and connect it to what's going on and how can I use those things, those experiences to elevate me, to make me better, to make me smarter, to make me internally richer. These things are really, really important. So the ENFJ's world is very vast and deep, but I find it to be a total, it's not a hypocrisy, that's not the right word, but it's a contradiction. Yeah. Because on the outside, they can seem very playful and surfacey, even though if you have a conversation with them, it can get really deep, and they're usually trying to figure out something about you. Now, sometimes a conversation can be light, but if you want to go deep with them, hey, you got the perfect person to do it with. Mariah Carey has a song that she sings that says, "You always smile, but in your eyes, your sorrow shows." And that is an ENFJ all day. They're looking beyond the smile. They're looking into the soul in your eyes. And why do they do that? Because they like to help and support people, period. And if they can keep you from going into a dark, unhealthy place, or they feel like you need a little uplifting, or you need a little support, or you need some space, or you need somebody to just move out of your way so you can think, they want to be aware of that on your behalf, because they understand how it feels to be mired in confusion, and they don't want anyone else to feel that. So it's not coming from a place of, oh, look, I can see that, or they're all in your business type thing. It's not that. They just want to be aware of your moods, and they want to cater to them and not hinder them. And they kind of do have a rescue complex, honestly. But deep, dark, vast, what can that mean for an ENFJ? It means that they can tumble also into a very dark place that doesn't feel good, where their emotions are all tangled and acting crazy, and they're trying to figure out something, or there are just so many things happening that they're not understanding, or they're upset by something. So they can be very passionate people, and they can go into a place that they don't necessarily like. On one hand, they can enjoy the melancholy, but sometimes it can get into a dark place that is laced with too much anxiety and sadness and depression, and they have to really, really be careful of that, because they will go way deep and start playing around, tangling, uncovering, trying to interpret, what does this mean? What does that mean? What does that mean for my life? Am I going into the direction that I should be? Look at these things that are holding me back. Why are they holding me back? Let me figure it out from this angle. What do I need to do from that angle? And they can also be worried about other people, even if you're not very close to them. It could be somebody that they just met, and they find themselves going into this deep space where they are trying to put pieces of a puzzle together about someone's beautiful life, even if it's mixed with a ton of chaos. And it's just very, very interesting. Some people just kind of accept things as they are, and ENFJ struggles to do that. That is so elusive to them. ESTPs, ISTPs, it's very clear. Something bad happened, and it is what it is. It's not that simple for an ENFJ. They're going to take it apart, and they're sometimes going to struggle with accepting things that they don't like, or that aren't good, or even accepting that some people just aren't darn good, which is why I wrote my book, The Workplace NaRCISSiST, that you can check out on Amazon. It's about people who are incredibly difficult, and it was my way of attempting to understand these people who are the polar opposites of ENFJs, because they don't mind hurting people, and I wanted to understand why and what you can do if you're in situations with these difficult people. So I will put the link to that book in the description box. I'll also put a link to one of my ENFJ playlists so that you can understand ENFJs from many angles. I've done over 150 ENFJ videos, so there's a lot to discover. I mean, a lot. So thank you for hanging out at Tam Psych Advice, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye.